Hello, welcome to Lentero. I wanted to do a midweek read now that we've hit Wednesday, see kind of what energy we're coming out of and what we can expect for the rest of this week. Energy for last week, Seven of Cups. We had a lot of Two of Swords energy last week, so I think Seven of Cups is really fitting. Here we have a crow up in the clouds, facing a lot of cups with a lot of different options. This isn't necessarily a card of overwhelm. It's just a card of, we're kind of distracted by all the possible things that we could integrate into our lives. The oracle card that came through here was the Quail and Gooseberry Anticipation card. The gooseberry is a plant with a lot of thorns, so there's some consideration needed before you consume, before this quail consumes. So I think last week was very much anticipating what's coming next. Also worry about the potential danger of missteps. But the cards that are coming through for Wednesday, as we progress through the week, is Temperance. This really fits in with the morning read today is finding balance, avoiding overwhelm. The crow here has 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the pond. There's water flowing between each of these two cups. But there's also a triangle in the corner, and I think, that signifies that beyond two, we can actually find a new flow. So think about the Two of Swords is kind of being stuck between what we perceive as two options. Think about a third option that you may not notice, but also, again, follow intuition here. Your intuition is always naturally going to be in balance. The oracle card that came through with the Temperance card is the Spider and Passion Flower, creative ingenuity, and this really speaks to that. The spider is a patient insect, a patient being, right? Bides its time. And that's really what you're doing here. The message as the week flows is take your time, avoid that overwhelm. And for the energy of what's in conflict to you, especially today and then moving forward throughout the week, that's something to keep an eye on. Page of Cups, and this came up last week. I always think of this as a surprise card. There is a fish in the cup. This might be fairly unexpected that you're going to take a drink and there's a whole fish. And I love this card. It's really, let the world surprise you. As a card that's in conflict to us, I think the idea being here that we don't want any more surprises. I think there's been a lot going on, especially as we come out of this Mercury retrograde. So this is in conflict, maybe for good reason. It's not necessarily something that we have to work through, other than understanding that we're tired of surprises and being kinder to ourselves because of it. The oracle card that came through here is the Weasel and Pine. This came through in reverse, but I'll flip it so you can see here. This is a introspection card. The pine is a very common form of tree, easy to replicate, easy for this weasel to hide in. The weasel can be an aggressive creature, but a very sneaky creature, can kind of blend in. So the idea here is, I think we're in conflict. We're kind of in a retreat, which fits in with the reading this morning, and finding a balance, finding that tree branch that we can sit on. And we don't want those surprises. Maybe we don't want a fish to be up in that branch, and I think that's okay here. Do a little personal thinking. Energy that's coming through for the rest of the week is High Priestess. This morning's read was super interioric. I don't know if that's a word, but it was very about our interior and exploring and going deep. We got the Moon card. High Priestess is very much matching that energy. This is really about following intuition, and very similar to the Temperance card, we sort of have a connection with this underworld connection, this background connection, the things that are beyond our material world. So I see it, again, our conflict card is a little bit about retreat, being, high up in a tree, away from trouble. I think we're going to continue in that direction as the week continues. The oracle card that came through here is the Badger and Ginkgo, and it came through reversed as well. Ginkgo is a symbol in China of peace, and the badger thematically is seen as a very aggressive creature. So the message coming through here is actually that there might be some kind of hurt manifesting toward you later in the week, and that could be actually creating this sense of furthering the need to retreat. And for the kind of more distant, like later in the week, card that came through here is the Magician, and I'm going to put these together here. So here we have, the High Priestess as the number 2 major arcana, and then you're going to continue to kind of retreat back as we head into the weekend as well. And both of these, the Magician is a card of manifestation, of waving your wand, bringing things, you have this almost a trickery to get things done. And the High Priestess, I think, is this great pairing of action or intuition with the action of the Magician, this creative flow. The Oracle card that came through with the Magician is the Eel and Iris. This is safety. So I would say that there might be some kind of emotional injury that's coming through later in the week. And ultimately, the eel is really very good at hiding and finding that safety. So I think you're going to find a way to maintain the balance that you have starting off this midweek period. But there will be some retreat here. There's going to need there's going to need to be time to heal wounds. But what's really interesting in terms of your energy is you're in a really solid place. You're actually like kind of going back to the beginning here. So whatever, maybe there is like a necessary pain going through toward this weekend. But I would say, feel that hurt. Literally, get some ginkgo, get some healing energy in, find a place of safety, and really reconfigure what those plans look like. You have the intuition there. I mean, the card that came through with Temperance was this creative ingenuity. So I would say you have the toolbox. You may just need to go back to the drawing board a little bit, learn to trust yourself, find that balance. Remember, that upper tree branch, it's okay to be there for a little bit, no matter what happens the rest of this week. But, the Magician and the High Priestess, those are, they're kind of like starting fresh with a really great toolkit. And I think it's like a back to basics approach, right? These are super strong cards for you going into the weekend, and I think will actually really benefit going into next week as well. So I hope this is helpful. Leave like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this is resonating with you. Take care.